This video is for my dark romance baddies. My bitches out there that enjoy their men emotionally and mentally darker than their morning coffee. Welcome back to another video, my gals. If you're new here, hey, what's up? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the way out. I've been inspired, okay? I've been inspired. I'm reading a dark romance right now that has honestly blown my fucking mind. And you know what happens when I find a book that blows my fucking mind? Because it is a rare occurrence, I bring it to you. I bring the goods to you. But before I even start off ranting and raving about this romance book, this dark romance book, it is so fucking good, I'm losing sleep over it, we have a sponsor. So let's chat about it. Today's video is sponsored by Best Frenemies by Max Munro. This bad boy is a new release and it is a rom-com riot. For all the people out there that enjoy enemies to lovers, like that specific trope, this one's for you, bitch. Katie and Mac are teachers at the same private school, and they have been arch enemies for the past 5 years. It's spring break, and the getaway rental has double booked them for the same time period. With neither of them wanting to give up their vacation, obviously, Katie must find a way to put up with sexy Mr. Goodtime that she loves to hate and not end up in jail. And of course, there's only one bed. So if you love a road trip, enemies to lovers, one bed, forced proximity, a rom-com with a dirty talking hero, please check out Best Frenemies by Max Munro. So I'll leave the link down below. I also want to say that I did look up the reviews and I've popped this on my TBR because the reviews are amazing. I mean, like 4 or 5 stars. All the written reviews are just like spot on, really good. Apparently it's meant to be really hilarious. I'm excited to read this. It sounds different and super fun. Now it's time to get into the business of the game, okay? The game's business. What is the game's business? Dark romance. I have made multiple comments this year saying,
the dark romance doesn't tickle my fancy anymore. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't think I'm into dark romance anymore.
Lies. Absolute fucking lies. I just have a very particular taste in my dark romance books, okay? If you're looking for haunting and hunting Adeline, you're not gonna find that here. That's not my type of dark romance. And I also feel like dark romance has a scale. Like, what do you enjoy in your dark romances? Do you like a dark love story? Or do you enjoy dark backstories, but the romance is like really swoony? Like, what do you enjoy? Like, I feel like it's different for everyone. Don't mind me, just drinking my Coke. I personally love just like toxicity. I think you guys know that. If you've been following me for a while, I love a toxic romance. I love bad boys. Like, I love drugs. I love really toxic characters coming together and falling in love, but like they struggle to admit it, and it's like this push and pull angsty situation. They're hurting one another, they're super damaged, and there's like a lot going on. That's my type of dark romance. Anyway, I found a dark romance recently that has been on my TBR for years. It's actually part of a series and I really wanted to talk about it today, even though I've only just started it and I'm only like 35–40% in. I literally lost sleep last night. This book is so good that I chose to read instead of sleeping. And if you're a mum and you have babies, you understand that the book must be great if you're choosing to read over getting sleep, which inspired me to do this video. So reading this book inspired me to sit down and talk about my recent favorite dark romances. And these are examples of the dark romances I personally like. Jessie Hall in general has become one of my new favorite authors. She's an indie author that I discovered at the start of the year, and her first book that I read was Hawk. Now, you would have seen this book come up quite a lot this year for me because when I read it, I was shooketh. Bitch, shooketh. I thought, wow, what the fuck? This is perfection on another level, okay? This is like the adult version of After. It's like After redone and polished, but it's only a standalone as well. So it's not like a 4-book series, which I love a good standalone. I'm not really into series that much anymore, but Hawk was just like elite, swoon-worthy, bad boy vibes. The sex in this book was magnificent, okay? I mean, the smut was smutting, okay? You know how sometimes you read romances and you read a smut scene and you're just like, okay, cool, cute. And then you read other smut scenes and you're like, oh, this is making me feel some type of way. These smut scenes were so fucking good, like so fucking good, and I just loved it so much. I ate this shit up. And because I'd read this, I'd met one of the characters in this book called Kid, and I realized that Jessie had also written Kid. So Kid is really dark and really heavy. Not dark in the sense of haunting Adeline. As I've said, it is dark as in heavy. We're dealing with drug use, addiction, suicide, mental health, very dark characters coming together and finding each other, falling for each other, and then having to work through their trauma and trauma bonding and all this type of stuff. I loved it though. Kid is one of the most unique heroes I've ever read. He kind of reminded me a little bit of like Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like his like blonde hair and Jessie's kind of like attitude, really funny too, like just a really unique hero. When you read a lot of dark romance and a lot of romance in general, finding a unique hero is kind of difficult, and Kid was something else, and I really enjoyed this. But yeah, as I said, dark. I know that Jessie also has That Sick Love, which I have heard that it's kind of like not the same but similar to Haunting Adeline, and I haven't read it, and I don't know if I will. I don't really gravitate towards that type of dark romance anymore. Like heavy stories dealing with heavy topics, like really traumatic love. That's what I feel. Not like abuse and shit, okay? Not like stalkers and stuff like that. That's the type of dark romance and characters I look for in my dark romance books. So I don't know if I'll read that, but Hawk and Kid, yes. Yes. I know she's also coming out with the Canary Cowards, which is a sports romance, and even though I don't like sports romance, I'm very intrigued by that one too. Untouchable. This is elite, okay? This is just the best bully romance you'll ever fucking read. I have read tons of bully romances in my time, okay? And to be real with you, like I don't love them. If I come across a good bully romance though, I do really enjoy them. But this one is just top tier. I have not been able to get over this since reading this months ago. Carter is divine. Guys, like I cannot stress it enough. Like book, boyfriend, swoon worthy. This is marketed as a dark romance, but not the entire story is dark. I don't think anyway. The beginning of the story, the opening scene is quite dark. Carter and a few of his buddies team up and bully this heroine, and it opens up like a sexual assault scene. Okay. And even when I was reading it, I was like, no way. There's no way that this dude can redeem himself. You know what I mean? Like, no way this heroine, after this situation, is going to fall for him. I was fucking wrong. And I'm glad that I was wrong, because if I didn't push past the first couple of like scenes, I wouldn't have experienced this book. And honestly, this Carter is amazing. But like, I'm going to tell you right now, if you read this bully romance and you like it, no other bully romance is going to ever match. Because Carter is everything and more, bitch. Everything and more. Like, I would do so many things if I could. The Torment Duet, okay, by Dylan Page. We all know I've done like 3 videos on this now, and I still am going to shove this down your throat until you read it. It is dark stepbrother MC romance, okay? And it is very tragic, not a happy ever after. There's a lot that happens in this duet. It is intense, full on. You don't know if you love or hate Shay, which is the hero. Like, it's just a very conflicting book, but I have never read anything that made me feel the way that this felt. And I ended up in tears. This will destroy you. I read this and it broke me, and I wasn't able to read like much after it for a while until I came across Untouchable. If you've watched my toxic romance video, a lot of these are in that video. This book here I featured in that video, Ecstasy by KB Rose. I read this years ago and I liked it, but I wasn't like obsessed with it, but it is a good book and I know a lot of people love it. Now, this is actually a series. Ecstasy is book 1, and then we have a duet that follows. The duet is book 2 and book 3, but together they're book 1 and book 2, okay? Ominous. This is it, bitch. This is what I'm here to talk about. So, I don't know why I randomly picked this up. I used to own the paperback. I actually recently sold the paperback to one of my good friends because I just knew I wasn't going to read the paperback. And I kind of forgot that this existed. And when I got it out of the cupboard and gave it to my friend, I was like, oh, I'll get that on my Kindle and I'm going to check it out and see, like, you know. Oh my God, I'm reading it right now and I'm so obsessed. Like, this duo, like Eden and Eli. If you've read Ecstasy, you know Eli. He comes up in Ecstasy. So this book takes place before Ecstasy, but it was written after. I've been posting on Instagram about this. I've been putting it on Goodreads because, my God, I'm just so obsessed with this. Eli is such a dark character. He's a sociopath, man. A sociopath. And he is the most delicious sociopath I've ever read. Like, just the way he looks, man. He's tall, dark hair, just like divine. And then we have Eden Rain, who is this really troubled girl. She's dark as well. Like, I mean, she's battling some inner demons, darling. And she's this petite little thing that dresses like a bad girl. Like, she's got boots on and like distressed denim jackets. She's a whole ass vibe. She's a whole ass vibe. And they start a thing. And I don't even know how to explain it. The writing in this book is almost like fucking poetry. It's so good. And it's not the type of book that you open it up and the love interest is there and it just kicks off. Like, this is definitely like a slow burn. So many small details and moments of them just get the butterflies going, baby, in my stomach as well as the vagina. Okay, so many vibes and flutters coming from Eli and Eden. I cannot wait to finish this book. I cannot wait. It's 900 fucking pages, the first book, and I believe the second book may be even bigger. It's going to take me a while. In saying that, it's been like 24 hours and I'm already 30% in, so maybe I just won't sleep this weekend. When I started reading this and I was feeling all the feels, it was getting late at night and I was literally like muffling my mouth and giggling and, oh my God, like swooning. I was like, yes, 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 yes. Praise the dark romance queen, KV Rose, for writing this and bringing this my way, because this is the type of shit that I want to read. It's toxic, like really toxic, and this love in no way is healthy, but it's epic and it makes you feel so much and you're just like in the book, like you're getting transported in the book. It's very much like dark academia too. Eli comes from a rich family. He's driving like a blacked out car. He's got money. The only reason why Eden is even at this school is because she got a fucking scholarship and shit like that. Like, please read this. Please read this. I've had questions on Instagram like, do I need to read Ecstasy? Now, I've read it, but I barely can remember it, and I've started this and it hasn't really mattered. But there is a few things that have popped up that I'm like, hang on a minute. So I think by the end of this duet, everything will tie in together. So I do suggest you do read Ecstasy first. Ominous Part 1 so far is a banger, and it's the reason why I'm sitting here today. Because, you know, I haven't been reading a lot. I've been very slumpy, and this has got me going. Like, once this camera goes off, I'm going to bed, bitch. And I'm going to be nose deep in this Kindle, okay? Reading the fuck out of this. I can't stop, and I won't stop, bitch. Can't stop, won't stop, bitch. I love my dark romance, toxic and deep and meaningful and tragic, but not traumatizing, but also a little bit traumatizing, but also a bad boy that does bad things, but not necessarily to you, but sometimes a little bit to you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I am complex. I'm a complex bitch with complex needs. I feel like KV is a very underrated author as well. I feel like I need to do an author video on her just to give her some limelight. If you are someone that likes Amo Jones, you'll love KV, though very different. They have been compared before, like their stories. Cut from the same cloth type of vibes, but different. The writing style and the poetic side of KV in this book reminds me of Nicole Fiorena's writing style. Okay, so if you like Nicole Fiorina, Amo Jones, anyone like that, you'll love KV. So I will actually do an author video on her. I need to do them. I need to spotlight some authors because there's some that are falling under the radar right now, and I don't think they deserve to fall under the radar. Ominous. When I finish this, you'll hear in a reading wrap up or even its own fucking video, I'll need to discuss my thoughts. Like, there was a scene last night that I read, it was a coke snorting fucking scene, alright? Drugs, yes, I love toxic shit. Put drugs in my romance. Put it all in there, you know what I mean? And everyone was snorting coke and I thought that it was going to break out into a fucking threesome. And I thought, yes, bitch, yes, like this is what I want. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. I don't even know what this is, like my favorite, I don't want to say my favorite because they are my favorites, but I feel like I'm doing a lot of my favorites at the moment. But these are just like dark toxic wrecks that I've talked about recently. Plus Ominous, because I just needed to talk about it and it falls into the category of these books and I need more of these books. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe before leaving my booth. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.